guys? Good to see you. Here is my first video. Welcome and enjoy. Today you are learning how to revise your claim. At this moment, please pause the video and take a moment to write down your claim as it is now. Keeping in mind, your claim is the last sentence of your introduction. Your claim also is an interest, specific, and reflects the goal for your paper. So the first step is looking at something you are interested in. So for the purposes of this video, let's say you are interested in, you're probably so distracted right now by the fact that I misspelled interest that you need a moment to recollect your thoughts. Maybe you've forgotten the classic Cooper classroom and that I don't know how to spell. Miss you guys. Global warming. So when we're looking at the topic of global warming, though that may be your interest, it is very broad and can have many different elements involved with global warming. So we are going to take global warming and we're going to narrow it down. So since you are writing a high school argument essay and not a dissertation, it is in the best interest of you and your reader to narrow it down. For the purposes of today, we are going to narrow down global warming to oil production, which is a portion of global warming but is more specific. If you're trying to argue how global warming is harmful to our future, you're going to have many different sets of information and won't be able to get into the specifics. If we are not specific in our argument, not many will heed our advice. Here, we can use specific data that could potentially sway our readers, which is the ultimate goal. Let's look at your current claim. Is it narrow enough? Go ahead and revise. You should only be looking at the topic. Don't worry too much about the wording. We will get to that in a few moments. For now, I want you to revise your claim so that it is narrow but still speaks to your interests. Hopefully at this point in your essay writing journey, you already have some sort of interest that you've determined and you've narrowed it down to some point. If you see that you can narrow it down a little more, please do that now. Next, we are going to talk about, we will be defining the goal of your essay. So if you had to look at your essay, what would be the goal? So what is the goal of your essay? Take a moment and write down, why are you arguing what you are arguing? What do you hope, best case scenario, that would come out of this argument essay? If the person or the people you're trying to sway read this and agreed to it, then what would happen? What is your goal? So let's look at an example of this. So let's look at this one. Without determined and well-calculated decisions from leadership, the United States will fall victim to another depression. Sorry for being so grim, but we are going to use this as an example. What do you think so far? What are the goals of this claim, of the author? What do you think the purpose is of this claim? So if we look at this claim again, without determined and well-calculated decisions from leadership, the United States will fall victim to another depression. The goal here, I believe, is to convince readers to choose leaders wisely and to influence current leaders. Okay, now look at your claim. Does it clearly reflect the goal? And at this point, your claim should also reflect your interests, be narrow enough for a high school paper. Remember, you're not writing a dissertation. You should be as specific and narrow as possible. And lastly, it should reflect the goal of your paper. The next thing we're going to look at is wording. Some words you should be avoiding in your claim are should or must, could, negative or positive, bad or good, always or never. You should even avoid using words like society or moral. should all be avoided in your claim. That is not to say you cannot have them in your paper. However, if you choose to include these in your paper, ensure that you define exactly what you mean. You and your reader should be working from the same definition, otherwise there could be confusion and misunderstandings. So now we're going to take a look at the wording of this claim. Does it state the goal? Though nuclear weapons have indirectly played a role in keeping world powers away from war, I think they must be destroyed to ensure world peace. So looking at that, what do we think about the wording? Again, though nuclear weapons have indirectly played a role in keeping world powers away from war, I think they must be destroyed to ensure world peace. What's wrong with this? Well, first, the claim says, I think within it. And this is not something that you should use in an argument essay because it is first person point of view. And in your argument essay, you should be using third person point of view. So let's take that I think out of the claim and see what we have then. Though nuclear weapons have indirectly played a role in keeping world powers away from war, they must be destroyed to ensure world peace. So looking at this, there's still another word in there that we need to take out. And that word is must. We must destroy these. That is what is being said in this claim. But since we need to avoid words, ambiguous words like must, we are going to revise once again to something that is more appropriate for our essay. So we're going to reword this to something that reads like this. Though nuclear weapons have indirectly played a role in keeping world powers away from the war, their destruction is the only way to ensure world peace. So here we have taken out two of the wording issues. The first one was that it was first person point of view. Again, you should not have that in your essay. The second problem was the word must. So we reworded it just slightly, it has the same meaning, and it is reworded to be more appropriate. So what do you think? If this is our final claim, like we hope it is, let's make sure it checks all of the boxes. First, is it specific? I would say yes. Though we are speaking of world peace, which is a broad topic, we are speaking specifically to nuclear weapons and world peace. So let's look on the second one. Does it have a goal? I would also say yes to this. The author's goal here is for the reader to consider the destruction of nuclear weapons for the sake of world peace. I think that claim communicates that in a way that is concise and, again, very specific, using third-person point of view language. So take a moment and look at your own claim. Hopefully it does reflect your interest in some way. Make sure that it is specific. It is speaking of something specific, not broad, that is going to take days and years to fully answer or to sway your audience. And make sure that it is clear what the goal of your essay is. So at this moment, I want you to make sure that you have revised your essay to reflect those elements. So hopefully you have found this video helpful, and I also want to give you guys a chance for some extra credit. Before the end of the week, comment below on the Google Classroom page. Make sure it is a public comment and explain your process of rewording your claim. I want to see what you started with and what you ended up with. This gives us an opportunity to look at our peers and see how everybody is working the steps. It's going to be a little different for everybody else. So go ahead and So thanks for watching this video. It is my first ever, so any sort of feedback is always welcome. I hope you enjoyed. I miss seeing your faces, but for now, this will have to do. Make sure you email me if you have any questions. And again, don't forget the extra credit. Bye!